Million channel, and I'm so happy that you guys here today. We have a beautiful conversation about deepening your relationships, building strong, powerful, deep relationships that you feel like you can really connect with people in your life. And this question has come about to me like in so many different ways. And oftentimes it usually comes through like, why do I keep meeting shallow people in my life? And, why do I keep meeting these kind of people in my life? Why do I keep manifesting these people in my life? And the thing that we really crave for in our lives is that connection where we don't really have to say anything. We don't have to pretend to be someone else we're not. We don't have to put up an act. We don't have to like just pretend to be more excited than we actually are. We don't have to be anyone else other than ourselves. And that is truly what we desire. We want that kind of soul reviving relationship where when we make that connection with someone, it's like our soul awakens, something inside of us that just says, yes, this feels so right. This is the connection that I've been waiting for. This is the conversation that I've been waiting for. And we all want to feel that way in our relationships because otherwise, like, what would be the point of that, right? And, oftentimes when we feel this way about people, it's easy to think to ourselves, like, why is it that every time I walk into a new relationship, a new friendship, a new group of friends, a new social circle, a new community, why is it that I always feel that people are so superficial, right? And how is it that I can bring about the depth inside of them? It's like, it's almost like I can never really meet anyone right. I feel like I never really have the right kind of people in my circle. And I either have to change circles, I have to move somewhere, I have to, stop meeting my current group of friends and I have to go somewhere else in order to find like better quality people somewhere. And I wanted to make this video today because I want to let you know there is everything in your power to bring the depth, to bring the best quality out of these people. And I want to talk to you just about that because it's not about going like, ending relationships, just going to like other places to find new ones. It's not about finding better people. It's not about, going to new places. It's not about like moving, just from like one group of people to another. But it's about finding a place inside of yourself that can speak to people, that when you speak, it activates a certain part inside of them. That is a whole new level of connection and communication and reunionship that you can have with people that will take your conversations above the level where you anticipate them to be. You will start to see your relationships differently. You will no longer settle for, believing that relationships are just a certain way. You will no longer have prejudice. You will no longer see people in a certain way. And as a matter of fact, when you look at the world in this new level, your conversations will elevate to a whole new level. It will transcend what you think it's going to be and become, it would kind of just like take on a life of its own so that your energy and other people's energy kind of merges and then it kind of like synthesizes into this new, like whole new beautiful thing that gives you so much nourishment. It gives you so much power. Like those are the kind of relationships that make you feel so energized. So how do we change that? Now, the one thing that I want to kind of address with you is that every single time when we feel like, ugh, like, why are all the people I attract like this? Like, why are they always so, I don't know, like judgmental? Why are they always so superficial? Why do they, why are they all so gossipy? Why are they all so clicky? Like, how do I change that? That is usually the question. Like, where do I find better quality people is usually the question that we're asking. And we kind of like look everywhere outside of ourselves for the answer. So, what tends to happen is that we start changing ourselves to adapt to this worldview. So, what do? We kind of change ourselves to, talk about the things that people like to talk about, or dress in the way that we think that other people want us to show up, or we attend the things, we do the things, we get into the activities, we take on certain things and hobbies that we think that other people want us to do so that we can fit in. And, this goes beyond like activities, appearances, behaviors, but it really is in the core about adapting ourselves to the preferences that we think other people have of us. So we start changing our appearance, we start changing how we show up in the world, right? We start changing the way that we speak, just so that when I show up, you are going to like me. You are going to find something that you can identify in me so that we can connect. And that means that I have to change something about myself to match what I think you like, right? I have to put aside a part of myself. I have to put aside the most authentic version of myself so that I think it's going to match your expectation of me. And every single time I want to get rid of this belief and I meet someone new, or I, connect with someone that I already know, I'm reminded of this belief because I keep showing you what I think you want to see. So, this belief, even though I want to get rid of it, even though I don't like it, it's not serving me at all. It doesn't excite me. This is not the kind of relationship that I want to be building, but it gets reinforced. It's like this teeth, it sinks in even more because we keep giving this version of us that is not really aligned with who we really are. And so we keep giving this to the world. And what we're actually doing is we are holding back our depth. We are holding back the true version of who we are. So I'm withholding something. I'm not really giving you all of me in the fear that I'm going to be disappointed, in the fear that if I show you who I am, that, you may not like it and that you're going to leave me. So I'm going to give you what I think you like so that I don't have to be disappointed and I don't have to sit with the pain that you're going to leave me, or you're going to walk away, or you're going to reject me, or you're going to criticize me. And I'd rather keep the true part of me to myself, right? I'm holding back my depth. But my friends, what I have found, and this has completely changed the way that I approach relationships, is that I will give them my depth. I will give you my depth. I will not dumb down what I say just to match what I think you want to hear. I will not dilute my light. I will not dilute my energy. I will not hold back the potency of what I have to say just because I don't think that you're going to understand, just because I don't think you can resonate. I will assume that you already understand, that you already get it. There's the light inside of you. There's the intelligence inside of you that is born of this thing that we are both created in. And that when I speak of this truth, like when I connect to the truth inside of me, I know that the truth inside of you will resonate. You get that? So my truth can activate the truth inside of you, not my fakeness, not my superficialness, not the diluted version of myself, right? And if you find yourself, you've been doing that, it's entirely okay. There is absolutely no judgment here. And the reason we do that is obviously for self-protection, right? We don't want to get rejected. We don't want to get hurt. And so we try to like think of ways to, keep people around. And I used to do that myself as well. And what I found is that I just keep manifesting these relationships. It's like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with all these people that I'm meeting? And I go from relationship to relationship to friendship to friendship. And I feel that there's just something, there's a very important substance missing in those relationships. And after I've found all these relationships, they're not of the quality, not of the depth, not of the connection, not of the resonance that I wanted. I started asking myself, is there something that I'm not seeing? Is there something that I'm not giving in these relationships, such that I keep getting in these mediocre relationships and these mediocre connections, these half-ass connections in return? Was there something about me that I was seeing in people that allows me to continue to see this version of them to be reflected back at me? So I want to talk about what happens when we withhold our depth, what happens when we withhold our authentic selves, right? Because when we're given the opportunity, we can talk forever with another person about, our deepest thoughts, our desires, the things that we have gone through in our life, our stories. We can tell people what we understand. We can tell people, we can preach, we can share like our beliefs, our values, the things. If there was one person who would listen to us, if there was one person who had the patience to understand, to engage in this dialogue, it would be so exciting. So why do we when when we hold back our depth, what I wanted to say is, when we hold back our depth, what we're doing is we are disengaging the authentic part of ourselves, the truth, the light, the power inside of ourselves, right? We're disengaging with a part of our awareness. And when we disengage with that awareness, what we're allowing people to do is allowing them to respond to a superficial level of us, right? And that means that we're facilitating a conversation on a very superficial layer, to talk about the things so that people can respond to very superficial level things, so that we free them from the responsibility of having awareness. We release them from the responsibility of being truly engaged with us, because we're basically saying, well, you know what? I'm not engaged with myself. I'm not engaged with my awareness. I'm not engaged with my depth. So then you are freed from that responsibility, because, I'm not meeting you there anyways. So the way that people would respond to that energy we're giving out is like, well, okay, if you want me to meet you here, then this is what I'm going to give you. So this is what happens when we have this belief that the world is a very superficial place. And because they're superficial and they're judgmental and they're gossipy and they're cliquey or whatever it is, then I have to behave this way in preparation, sort of like in protection of myself, so that I can adapt to their style. But when we disengage with our awareness and our truth, we're basically telling them, you don't have to be truthful to me, because I'm not giving you that, right? That part of me is not available in this conversation. But when we choose to engage ourselves, it literally wakes people up. They're like, oh my gosh, like I really love talking to that person. That feeling when you have just met someone and then all of a sudden you feel like, I feel like I've known this person my entire life. It's not just because that person is, really special. It's not just because that person is your soulmate. I mean, although, you may have some commonalities, you may really hit it off, but the one quality that person carries is their presence. your presence, their presence, your engagement, their engagement, your magic, their magic, the truth of the both of you. When you guys come together, it is like the most magical explosion ever. And this is the most beautiful thing. You know, when the moment I realized that I stopped jumping around shallow conversations and I stopped just withholding myself from going all out in these conversations, when I stopped holding back, when I stopped keeping a part of myself away from people, I realized the conversations changed in an instant. And then all of a sudden, people are able to connect with a deeper part of me, with a deeper part of themselves. It's almost like the depth in me and the awareness in me was able to activate a new level of depth within themselves, and they may or may not know it. But the truth is, they will know how much more they enjoyed the conversation. Because the truth is, I feel like everyone is looking for that level of depth, no matter where they go. Everyone's looking for a deeper conversation. Everyone's looking to be understood. Everyone is looking to feel like they're being heard. Everyone, right? I can't say that everyone's looking to, share their story, but everyone is looking to feel that level of realness, because otherwise what would be the point of having a relationship? What would be the point of having a conversation? Everyone desires to be seen for who they are on some level. And so if you can bring you to the table, not a version of you that you think other people want to see, but you bring you to the table. You don't hold back you, right? You bring people to your depth, and you will find that people are able to meet you in yours. They are more than happy to meet you where you are. They will talk in your language. They will be able to open up, be more vulnerable, share their story, share more of themselves, be more comfortable to just sit with you, spend time with you. And the truth is, what they really are able to gain from the conversation is that they'll be able to see their own depth, which is something that they desire to see for probably a very long time, that they may not be able to get from other relationships, because they probably think that, other people are too superficial or they're too shallow in the relationships, that they stopped revealing their depth. And when you reveal your depth, they get to see the depth inside of them. They get to see who they are. That is the power of your depth. You're literally able to bring them to where you are. They will meet you at the depth you allow them. This is very powerful. So it's a very beautiful feeling when they engage in a conversation with you. It's like, oh my gosh, where's this person been all my life? I've been waiting for you all my life. It's just the most amazing feeling, because you remind them of a part of themselves that other people are not able to see. When other people see a superficial world, when other people see smokes and mirrors, when other people see the masks that everyone's putting on themselves, right? The version that you see is a deeper level, is a more authentic level that you're able to bring to the table, because you see that within them. And then it reminds them, it's like it almost reactivates them to realize, oh my gosh, there's that part of me that I so desire to see. There's that part of me that is truthful, that is powerful, that wants to be seen, that wants to come out and communicate. So this is how you allow yourself to manifest deeper and more meaningful relationships, by taking the lead first. This kind of works as a mirror too, right? Because when you allow yourself to see the world that it is meaningful, that people are able to hold those conversations. You are the one who takes the first step, who initiates that. And then people will feel safe because, you're not afraid to go to that depth. And when I stopped holding back myself and I started, being able to hold a groundedness in my own presence, in conversations, in talking about feelings, in talking about the things that I was afraid of, the things that I've been hurt, or the depth of my dreams, the depth of my desires. It's, being deep doesn't always mean that you have to talk about painful things, by the way. But being deep means that you're able to share a part of yourself that is so real that maybe at once upon a time you were afraid to share. And when you do that, when a part of you is being activated, you will find that the deeper part of them, the more authentic version of them, is being activated as well. So you don't have to, keep putting on that face. You don't have to keep putting on that brave face or that personality or that extrovertedness that you feel like, only by doing that is going to get you friends, or only by doing that is going to make people stay. When you are true to yourself, people want to stay because they will get to see the truth within themselves. So this is the message for today. Let me know what you guys think about this. It brings me so much pleasure to answer this question because several of my clients have been asking about this already. And I'm just so glad to be able to shine some light on your relationships and helping you realize that, you can activate very powerful relationships without always having to go from one relationship to another, to always look for new people in your life. And people will literally meet you where you are. So with that said, thank you so much for joining me in this conversation today. I know that this setting was a little different. I'm actually back in my parents' home and it feels so good. I don't know if you can see that. I feel like very nourished, even though I'm a bit jet lagged and I feel tired and maybe I'm a bit dehydrated, but it just feels so good to be back in this environment. And everything that I talk about today, this is personal experience. I've been able to activate the deeper part in people, the more not defenseless, the more, I would say, the more authentic and the more truthful part of people this trip around, just because I know that there's a deeper part of me that desires to connect. And I have seen this in my relationships, guys. So this has been tried and tested. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, super happy to connect with you guys. And with that said, thank you for watching this video, and I'll be talking to you very soon.